Hi, this is my video review for the Crossroads Region Gazeteer. The Crossroads Region Gazeteer is a campaign setting for the Mutant Epoch RPG. I've read and played in a lot of campaign settings for different games, but few of them reach the level of detail and richness that this book contains. Let me talk about the quality of the PDF first. The PDF has some excellent, awesome illustrations depicting the post-apocalyptic world of the Mutant Epoch. There are all sorts of drawings of mutants, different factions, cyborgs. There's a lot of illustration material here, and it sets the tone for the game with so many details, and each image tells you a little story. For example, you can see this little fortress over here, and you're already picturing this Mad Max scenario. The only problem I have with the PDF is that it doesn't have a good virtual table of contents. There are some hyperlinks, of course. That there are hyperlinks in the first page of the table of contents and in the index, but there isn't like one of those table of contents on the left side of your screen where you can, with the deployable menus, where you click on them and you can find almost any topic. Here you have to go to the first page, the table of contents, and click the topic you want to know about, but it sends you to that page, but to get back you have to scroll all the way up or type the number of the page, and that's a little bit bothersome, but just a bit. It's more like a nitpick of mine. Well, what's this book about? The Crossroads region is going to be the main region for the Mutant Epoch game. We've already played in a few of the places contained in that region. Most of the adventures, or I think all of them, are based in this region. Even the town of Pitford, which I will talk about in a future review. But this sets the stage for the entire campaign in a very nice way. The designer talks about how he is going to release future supplements to detail the north, east, and west part of the regions, but you have a lot of material here. You really don't need any of that, and he encourages you to expand and create your own places and different adventure sites in the southern part of the map, because he's not going to release any products for that part. That's a part that the game master should flesh out and create. And there's a lot of great material here. I think that with just this little campaign setting, you have material for years and years of adventures. It does a great job describing the let's call it the political and social situation of the Crossroads region, because there isn't really much of a structure. It's post-apocalypse after all, and everything's just like in a sort of tribal, semi-civilized way, not really a true civilization. And there are a lot of factions fighting against each other. For example, there is the Dominion of Eurasia. I always forget that name. And that's a region composed of mutant supremacists that like to enslave humans. But on the other side, there is the Holy Purist Empire that it's all in favor of humans having the upper hand over the mutants and enslaving them or even killing them. And they are modeled after certain stereotypes. Well, the Eurasia, the Dominion of Eurasia, is more of like a tribal, dictatorial society, in my opinion. And the Holy Purist Empire is modeled after the Catholic Church in its inquisitorial phase. And those groups are constantly fighting against each other, and the player characters can easily get trapped in the crossfire of these factions. And those are not the only factions. Those are the largest threats that I can identify, but there are also a lot of other factions that may clash against the characters, or maybe the characters can ally with them, maybe even work for them. And that's the cool part of this campaign setting. The characters can have so many different adventures. There are the standard excavator adventures where they go into ancient ruins trying to recover technology from the past and secrets, but they could also work as enforcers or scouts or mercenaries for one of the different factions. And the book also tells you how to create a character in fleshing out his background, what he did for a living before becoming an excavator, what he is doing right now. Look, this is a pretty cool image. It looks like a fledgling excavator mutant leaving his hometown, seeking glory. And here's another negative point I want to talk about. There is a table to determine your character type, your character taste, and everything like that. But it tells you about rebuild, an android, and a parasite type, and the abomination type of excavator. But it doesn't give you details on what that caste or character is. For example, if you roll and you get and that your character is a parasite, you don't know exactly what a parasite is. It's probably some sort of mutant, but there aren't any stats or information on how to play one or create a character like that. And that's because the rules for that are coming out in a new expansion called the Mutant Epoch Expansion Rules. I would have liked to see a bit more about these characters, so you could start playing with them right away, but I definitely understand why Will McCausland, the designer of the game, decided to flesh them out a little bit better, because nobody wants a product that's incomplete. It leaves you feeling a bit empty inside. And well, let's talk about the regions. There are a lot of interesting regions in this gazetteer. For example, there are the independent settlements, talking about different folks and cities that don't exactly belong to any of the factions. And there are also a lot of ruins, a lot of great places to explore. And there are also different sites and points of interest with very colorful names. For example, we have Crow Island, and you may be asking, why is it called Crow Island? That's because there are a lot of mutant killer crows in that island. And you could also go to a Screaming Forest, I think it was called. And why is it Screaming Forest? Because there are a lot of screaming beasts there. Or you can find all sorts of colorful descriptive names of different regions. So if, for example, you find some region called like Toxic Waste River, that river is probably contaminated, and if your character goes in, unless he has some special mutation that will allow him to survive, he's probably gonna have to make some pretty good hazard checks, or he's going to die, or maybe change it to something else. And that's another thing I really like about this book. This book gives you a bird's eye view of the entire map, but zooms into specific parts with many detailed hex grids, so your characters can move and play in those areas. That's something I think is missing from many campaign books in general. For example, the Forgotten Realms campaign books, I love those books, but something that those campaign settings present, they just tell you about a city or a region, and they give you like a bird's eye view of the map, and that's it. You have to imagine everything else, and sometimes you want to zoom in to the specific part of the region and see more about it, learn more about the place. But this book is excellent in that aspect, because it shows you the bird's eye view, and you want to know more about this region, and it zooms you right in, and it shows you a little map, and the maps here are great. They're done with a lot of care. Let me see if I can give you a good example of the maps in this place. This is taking a bit too low. Well, okay. And so I was telling you, every map has a hex grid, so you can move your characters easily, and it has a lot of detail. It's not just like a general map. It shows you different buildings, different sites, and you can explore to your heart's content. And the book also contains a good list of NPCs, of important NPCs. There are probably leaders of the factions, maybe hired killers, and they also may interact as major antagonists or as allies of the player characters. Look, here's one of the maps, and this is a very zoomed out version. There are other more specific versions, and everything is separated in hexes, so your characters can move and explore everything about that map, and you can see all those small legends detailing all of that, all those little letters there, and you can it's information of who lives in what house, what is that building. The level of detail is just amazing. This is a work of pure love for the post-apocalyptic time, and you pretty much have everything you need to start and play the campaign that you need or want. And well, my overall thoughts of this game, of this campaign setting, is that it's probably essential if you want to run a very detailed and complete Mutant Epoch game. Sure, you could play a lot of adventures without with no links between them or something that joins them into a coherent world, but with the Crossroads Region Gazeteer, you're going to flesh out an excellent campaign that will surpass even the Mad Max movies, if that is even possible. But you're going to get a lot of hours and hours of entertainment just by playing using this campaign. Saying I really can't find a specific negative point about this campaign setting. Just maybe the things I told you about, that they talk about some specific types of mutants and cyborgs, and they don't give you the details to create those characters. But besides that, the book is very complete. Let's see, what else can I talk to you about? And there are also a lot of online resources for it. You can go into the website and download different maps, stats for NPCs, and you even have a historical line for the region, a timeline, and it's pretty much very complete. It has a lot of encounter tables for the wilderness, for urban areas, for when it's night or day, the types of patrons you may encounter in a bar or maybe some sort of inn. It's a very complete product. I highly recommend it, and I usually don't like buying or getting products for that need a bit more fleshing out, like, oh no, the east area is missing, or the north area, or the west, and we need to bring out future supplements. But I think this is worth it. The way this book is written and illustrated, it just lets you wanting more and more and more. You don't get that empty feeling that well, that's it. You're like, I want more. So I recommend this gazetteer, the Crossroads Region Gazeteer. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. See you later.